Alright guys, welcome back. Different type of video today. As you can see up there, we have the fixtures from this weekend's games. This side we have the league table, and we're going to go through the games and the talking points and my opinions, but then also your opinions in the comments afterwards. So we'll start with the first game, which started badly with VAR. VAR had multiple problems this week again. Fulham, Wolves. I mean, Wolves got the win in the end, but that offside call is probably the worst one I've seen since VAR came in. There's been a few that's been separated by like sleeves. I think that one's the worst one. So I'm glad Wolves got the win. Nothing against Fulham. I'm just glad Wolves got the win. That actually took them up the league, up just past Crystal Palace, as you can see there. They have got Sheffield United next, Wolves, so I don't know, maybe a late surge into Europe. Fulham, unfortunately, Newcastle went down. Newcastle won, so looks like Fulham might be down. Looks like the bottom three right now might be the guys that are going down. I can't see them picking up enough points. Then was it the 12:30 kickoff on Saturday? Leeds Man City. Wow. Cooper sending off. So this is what I thought. This wasn't an unpopular opinion, but I'm not sure it was a red card. Cooper's. It was a little bit dangerous, and I think the slow instant replays made it look worse. But the ball's there to be won. He goes and wins the ball, and he can't. Once you go through to for that tackle, you can't magically stop yourself in midair. So you have to go through it. It's just unfortunate for me. It caught Gabby Jesus. Now, another thing as well is Peter Walton on BT. He did say that Cooper was a bit unlucky as they was looking at the incident. The commentators went to Peter Walton as usual, and he said Cooper's a bit unlucky there, and because he got a yellow card at the start, right? And then I think it was John Moss went over to the referee review area, came back, sent him off, and then Peter Walton then changed his mind and said, by the letter of the law, it's a red card. So I don't think even the referees know what the rules are anymore. I don't think they know what to do or VAR any decision. I think everyone's questioning themselves. And I'd honestly, at this point, I'd just like to go back to no VAR. I would. I think everyone would, just a season without it, because it feels like we can't. Every time a goal goes in, you can't celebrate it. That's the most joyous thing in football when your team scores a goal, right? The most joyous thing. A win, a goal, you can't celebrate it. You've got to wait 20, 30 seconds, sometimes 2 minutes, to see if your team scored a goal. That's ridiculous. So Leeds only had 2 shots, and they scored both. They showed a different side of themselves, in my opinion. A lot of people said they played good football but get beat. This time they had no possession, they were behind the ball, they counter-attacked perfectly. And I'm a fan of Leeds. I know I'm from Barnsley, so a lot of Barnsley fans aren't fans of Leeds, but I'm a fan of Leeds. I'm a fan of the manager, I'm a fan of the players. And they deserve exactly to be where they are. They do. They deserve to be where they are. They deserve everything they get, to be honest. Man City rested a lot of players. I think they had Tuesday, Wednesday night in mind, whichever night they play in the Champions League, which makes sense after Dortmund's late goal. I think as well, Ederson stopped Rafinha, didn't he? It was like 1-on-1. That was a good save. It could have been 3-1. Yeah, good defending by Leeds. Man City wasteful, but I mean, look, they're 11 points clear. I know Man United have got a game in hand, but they're 11 points clear. They should be fine. It's one of those results that it probably won't knock the confidence enough. So yeah, I don't think it's a big deal. Liverpool Aston Villa. See, this one, I was really happy for Trent. Really happy. The goal at the end, ridiculously happy for him. I think he's been getting a lot of stick. He doesn't deserve it. Everyone has bad periods. It just feels like when it's a team like Liverpool that's done so well, everyone can't wait to knock their players, right? Salah gets it all the time. Again, another goal from Salah. Didn't really do too much, but he's a guy that always just puts the ball in the back of the net. He can't help it. He's just a goal scorer. That's what he is, and I don't think he deserves any disrespect. He's one of the best players in the world for me. Those players that can just be when they're having a quiet game, they score. They're literally worth 100 million. I don't see how he goes for less. The guy's ridiculous. Not much to shout about in that game, really. I think Liverpool deserved it overall. Aston Villa didn't play too well, but losing it late is going to be a tough one to take for Aston Villa. Then we got to the later kickoff on Saturday, which is Crystal Palace Chelsea, and the first half. I think it might be the worst performance I've ever seen from a Premier League team for a good while in Crystal Palace. I think it was like 2-0 in 10 minutes, and then it was 3-0 before half time. Havertz was brilliant. I'm glad to see him coming good because he was getting a lot of stick again. A young guy coming to a new country in the middle of a pandemic. I think you got to give him time. You got to give him space. You got to just get off his back a little bit. You know, the guy I watched him last year for Bayer Leverkusen a lot on BT Sport, and the guy's got bags of potential. He'll show everyone. He'll show everyone up. There's no doubt about it. Absolutely no doubt about it. This also, I think with Chelsea fans, this is not an unpopular opinion. But I think non-Chelsea fans, this could be an unpopular opinion. But I think Mason Mount might be their Chelsea's best player. I think he might be. Everything that they do just goes through him. He knits it all up. He travels with the ball so well. Even his set pieces. I think he's edging his way into my England first 11 if I had to pick the team. I don't think you can leave him out. He's just so influential. He's got bags of energy as well on top of that. And it's not often you can get technique and work, and he's just got both. And honestly, I think he might be Chelsea's best player right now. Genuinely. I can't think. I'm trying to think right now. There's not a better player. He's a brilliant, brilliant player, Mason Mount. I wasn't sure on him a couple of years ago, you know. I never thought he was bad, but I think he's just got better and better and better every single week, and I think he's definitely on the plane. Definitely on the plane. And I wouldn't surprise me if he's playing in the starting 11. I think Gareth Southgate loves him, which if he was there on the starting 11, I'm not gonna moan about it. Palace awful until like the 60th minute, and then they decided to put a bit of pressure on. Benteke scored, right? I think Benteke scored. Honestly, the game was won, and I I was doing other things while that was on. But yeah, not much to shout home about Palace. I think Palace need to change. I think they need a change. They're just treading water, and I understand that they're safe every year, right? So the board are sort of thinking, but we're safe every year. I know we could maybe push a bit higher, but look at the league table. They're level on points with Wolves. They're in front of Southampton. They're not brilliant to watch, but they get points. They get points. They're uninspiring, but they do. They're always there. They're never in danger, really. So it's a tough one. It's like, do you stick or twist? So I understand that they're not sacking Hodgson for that. Then we get to Sunday. Early kick-off there was Burnley Newcastle, and Burnley was just the best team up until St. Maximin and Wilson came on, and then the game just literally flipped on its head. Just flipped. It was ridiculous. I think, in fact, I know that Steve Bruce just went and took Joe Linton off and Dwight Gale off, the two strikers, and he put St. Maximin and Wilson on, and two bits of quality, both from St. Maximin, won the game, and I think that's the difference why Newcastle will survive. They've got a player like that, and Callum Wilson being back as well, he just scores their goals. Those two players are ones that the bottom three are missing. The bottom three teams are missing players like that. I think when you go up, you do have to buy a striker that's 20, 25 million that scores goals. To stay up in the Prem, that's what you need. Bamford's come good for Leeds. Look where they are. Danny Ings, Southampton, look where they are. Chris Wood always gets 10 goals Look where they are. Do you know what I mean? Brighton have created so many chances they don't even need a goal scorer. They just chip in from everywhere because they create that many. That's why they're there. And Fulham, West Brom and Sheffield United, they've just got nothing. Not nothing, but up the top end of the pitch, they're just so... I don't know, I can't describe it. They're toothless, really. Like, Mitrovic is a good striker, but he's not going to score you 20 in the Prem. He's not going to score you 15 in the Prem. Like, he needs someone next to him. He just does. It's the way it is. West Ham Leicester. For me, this was the best game of the weekend. West Ham Leicester. I think West Ham went 3-0 up, like they have done a couple of times this year. And again, like a couple of times this year, they nearly threw it away. Jesse Lingard scoring 2. Again, has to be on the plane. I'm not a fan of people being reactionary, right? I'm not a fan of people, after a few games, people being like, oh, he has to go, he has to play, he's worth 40 million. But at the moment, you can't say a bad word against Jesse Lingard. You can't. There's no argument to say don't take him. There's no argument. Now, the only thing I would say is, while looking at league table there, West Ham in 4th is just madness looking at it, to be honest. But England will be playing teams that sit back. Now, teams against West Ham don't sit back, so Lingard gets a little bit more space. I'm not sure if in England, like at Man United, where teams sit back because the dominant teams, the big teams, England and Man United, will Lingard get enough space? I don't know. Maybe. We'll see. It's one of those things that you don't know, do you, until it happens. But yeah, Jesse Lingard's on the plane, I think. And rightfully so. The guy's just been crazy good. A shout out as well. Underrated player, Jared Bowen. He played up front at the weekend with Lingard just off him and Fornals the other side. And Jared Bowen was... When I watched him in the Championship, he was coming off the right wing. It was tough to deal with, and it was just putting, like, it was basically Salah of the Championship. That's how he played. He played close to the striker. He got in behind. He got on his left foot, and he shot across the goalkeeper with the inside of the foot. That's what Jared Bowen was doing in the Championship for Hull before they went down. Like I said, I called him at the time. He was like the Salah of the Championship. That's what he was. But this time he played a different role. He sort of filled in for Mikel Antonio. And he was just brilliant. He was holding the ball up for a guy that's not that big. He was clever with it. It was every single time he laid it off, it was crisp. He was bringing people into play. He was running in behind, running channels. I think he was the man of the match. I know Lingard will get all the plaudits, but Jared Bowen for me was absolutely brilliant. And then a quick word on Leicester. First half, it felt like there was sort of like a bit cautious, a bit... Don't know what to do, don't know how to approach this game. Do we go and attack because we're the better team? On paper, I think Leicester are the better team anyway. It felt like, do they want to go and attack or do they want to sit back? It didn't feel like they had... They felt like they had one foot on one side and one foot on the other, and West Ham just came and just banged 3 in, and they were sort of like, whoa. And then I think they went on the attack, which is what they should have done from the start. And they scored 2 goals. And I think as well that West Ham being West Ham in the last couple of weeks, when they've thrown away a few leads and thrown away a few goals, they started worrying a little bit, and it was close. I think Ogbonna, was it Ogbonna at the end? It wasn't Ogbonna, was it? There was a chance right at the end, an header. It wasn't Ogbonna. I can't remember who it was now. It might have been. Oh no, it wasn't. It was Leicester. It was Fofana, wasn't it? Of course it was. Why am I thinking it was West Ham when they were winning? It was Fofana, a chance at the end, and he headed it wide. Yeah, that was the one. Leicester, as you can see there on the graphic, lost 2 games in a row. They've got West Brom next, so they probably will bounce back. They've got a favourable run of fixtures in the next 4, but then the last 3 games are like teams up the top 6, top 7. So Leicester need to get their acting together for the next 4 games. Otherwise, they're going to bottle top 4 again. When do questions start being asked of Brendan Rodgers? Because he's bottled it with Liverpool. He bottled it last year with Leicester. If he does it again, I think question marks start coming out about him. I rate him as a manager, but it's a tough trait to have if you're bottling leads. Don't know, maybe he needs to bring in an extra defensive midfielder, tell his wing backs to not go forward as much, play a few more long balls, keep players behind the ball. I don't know what he needs to do in games, but they're just losing points against. I mean, for me, Leicester should have won the game in the way it went, but Leicester should beat West Ham. That's a bit disrespectful on West Ham, I understand. But I know they had a few players out, but if Leicester imposed themselves like they did when they went 3-0 down, I think Leicester win that game. Plaudits to West Ham. They can only beat what's put in front of them, right? They're taking advantage over every single team they're playing. Every single time, every week West Ham play, and I think, all right, this will be the week where they drop down the table now. This will be the week where they drop point. They're not doing it. So you literally can't knock them. Brilliant. And I don't have anything against West Ham either. I would like to see them in the Champions League. I don't think they will. I think they'll finish 6th. I think it'll be Man City. I think it'll be Man United. I think it'll be Chelsea. And then I think it'll be Liverpool. Then I think it'll be West Ham and Tottenham. Personally, I think West Ham will finish 6th. Leicester 5th. Chelsea 3rd. Liverpool 4th. But that's just me. We'll see how that goes. Come back to this video and say, Lewis, you're a genius if that happens, right? Yeah, let's just reverse back just a little bit to the Burnley Newcastle game with the penalty. Another unpopular opinion, I don't think it was a penalty. The ball's coming across and there's Longstaff behind Tarkowski and he sort of turns around this way and kicks the ball. And he doesn't see Longstaff coming in. I don't think you can penalise someone for trying to clear the ball with an honest attempt. Longstaff knows what he's getting into there. He knows it. As he goes in to head that ball in, as is his right to do, he should accept. He's got to accept that he might get kicked. Because Tarkowski couldn't see him. I think if you start giving penalties, and free kicks, by the way, anywhere on the pitch, I think if you start giving penalties and free kicks against players and teams that are making honest attempts for the ball, you open a massive can of worms. I don't know if you guys that are watching this video remember back to Nani against Real Madrid when under Sir Alex Ferguson at Old Trafford, when the ball came over his head and he saw watching it, and he puts his foot up and jumps to control it, and a Real Madrid player comes in and he gets sent off. And at the time, everyone went mental, saying it wasn't a red card. And it's pretty much the same thing. If you can't see someone, you shouldn't be punished, in my opinion. If you have a look and then you still do it, fair enough. You've seen him, you've decided to do it. Maybe that's a different question. But if you don't see someone, for me, you can't be punished. But that's just me. Let me know, again, all these comments, all these opinions by me, please let me know in the comment section below what you guys think. I'm always happy to discuss other people's opinions and viewpoints. And also as well, try and take your biasness out of it. That's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to take biasness out of everything. But yeah, to the Spurs and Tottenham game, after I've just said bias, so I'm an Arsenal guy, right? I'm an Arsenal fan. Yeah, I know what you're thinking. Look at that league table. Shocking. But I think Man United had the performance of the week. I think they totally and utterly outclassed Tottenham from start to finish. Even when Tottenham went up, I think they did. They were just better all across the pitch. I worry for Spurs if they don't get top 4 and Harry Kane leaves. I worry. I think they'll be mid-tape, like where Villa and Wolves are. I do. I think they've got a bad track record of spending money that they get. When they sold Bale, they didn't replace it. You know, it's just... The signings are just so erratic. Lo Celso cost a lot of money. He's all right. But is he any better than what they had before? Maybe slightly. Is he worth the price? For me, no. Højbjerg, brilliant. Quite cheap. Perfect signing. I would love him at Arsenal. What a signing that was. And Ndombele, I see the talent there. And Ndombele, he's a bit Pogba-like. Not as talented, not as good, but he's a bit Pogba-like. I think he maybe should be played further up in Ndombele. I think he should be played maybe behind a striker. I see when every time I watch him, he likes to take risks. And I think in the position that he plays, you can't take risks, especially in front of like Eric Dyer and Sanchez, who haven't been great, or Alderweireld. Alderweireld is the best out of the three there. But every time I watch Eric Dyer, I just think, I don't know what people see in him. I do not know what people see in Eric Dyer. Sorry, I don't. For the goals, Cavani's movement is absolutely outstanding, right? Cavani's movement is one of the best in the world of football. But if you watch Fred's goal, if you go watch it back now, if you want to pause the video and watch it back, he's literally stood there like this, and he's looking at him, and he's going. He checks him. I've looked at this. He checks him about 3 or 4 times. He's looking, and then after like the third check, he just sort of goes like this, as if like he's looked at him. Oh, I'll be right. And then just gets caught square on, and he's in, heads it in, and I just think, what are you doing? Now, I do think Eric Dyer's best position is defence, but I just don't think he's very good at it. I think they need to get rid. He's just a guy that's just going to cost them goals. It's like the Arsenal team. It sounds like I'm bashing Tottenham here. I'm not. I mean, I am, but not for a biased reason. It's the same with Arsenal when I get onto their game. I could rant about Arsenal all day. How poor we are sometimes with the players we have. The players aren't good enough. I know Arteta's taken a lot of the blame. So we'll just quickly switch on to Arsenal's game. Arteta's getting a lot of flack. I understand it a little bit because the team selections sometimes I don't agree with either. But right. If you're not an Arsenal fan and you don't watch Arsenal games and all you see at the end of the week is the result, listen to me now. The amount of points that we have dropped from individual mistakes from players is ridiculous. I honestly think we'd be level on points with Liverpool. Like 7 points, I do. We've dropped at least 7 points. Now, if we were up there, I know it's hindsight, if we were up there like we should be with a better team, better players, now Arteta can't do that. He can't just, it's not like Football Manager, right, or FIFA career mode where you can just go, right, U10, sold, U10, bought. You have to do it slowly and incrementally over a few windows, and I think he will do that. I think Arteta is the right man for Arsenal. I'm fully behind him. And the performance was a very professional one on Sunday. The first goal was sublime. It was like rolling back the years to Arsene Wenger era. Sheffield United, they look hopeless. A quick, nice word on Sheffield United is they pop the ball around well. They pop it around well. And this video is now 23 minutes long. I don't want to get too long. I know some people don't like videos too long. If you've got this far, thank you so much. I'm going to make this a weekly thing. We're going to discuss the weekend events. But to me, Sheffield United, they're going to be down next week anyway, I think, if someone wins the bottom 3. And they move it around well. There's sort of shades of them last year. And then they get to like 30 yards out and they're like, oh shit, no, we've got to go back. It's like they've not got the confidence or the incisiveness to just punch through a defence. I don't know what that is. I'm trying to think of the players they had last year. Have they lost anyone? Not really. I don't think they have. I don't know what. I think it's just a confidence issue. They seem to go sideways when they get 30 yards out. It's like there's a barrier in front of them. I think they'll go down, and I think they'll do very well in the Championship. But yeah, Arsenal got a lot of injuries as well right now. Thursday night's not looking great in the Europa League. I think we'll pull through. I'm hoping we get to the summer. A little part of me hopes that there's no European football, so next year we can have a strong season, because I think we will. Get everyone fit, get some new signings in, because Arteta will. He managed somehow to get Ødegaard to join on loan, and Thomas Partey and Gabriel with no Champions League. So I think if he gets backed, he's a manager that will entice players. He just will. He's got a very strong idea of what he wants from the team. Very strong vision, and I think that comes across to players. But yeah, if we have a quick look at the table just at the end, Burnley have Man United next, so that's probably 3 losses in a row. Brighton have Everton, Newcastle have West Ham. To be fair, all the bottom 6 teams have tough games. It looks like Southampton are probably going to get themselves clear. Tottenham have Everton. That's a massive game. That's a big game for Arsenal, to be fair. If there's a draw in that and Arsenal can beat Fulham, who knows? Who knows? Maybe a late push for the... Arsenal have got a good run of fixtures towards the end of the season. Everton, Brighton, that's a tough one. So yeah, it looks like Everton have got Brighton first, like to get their games in hand, and then they've got Tottenham. Is it next weekend? So it looks like Everton maybe have got a game. I don't know when that is, to be honest. I'll have to have a look. If you're an Everton fan, let me know when your games in hand are. And then West Ham have Newcastle, Leicester have West Brom, Man United have Burnley. So yeah, it looks like the bottom half are playing the top half this weekend, pretty much. But yeah, I don't want this video to go on for too long. It's 26 minutes long. I've rambled a bit too much. If I've not got anything, I apologise. I'm going to make this a weekly thing. I'm going to talk about the weekend's fixture. I just love talking about football. As you can tell, I've just rambled and rambled. If it's something you enjoy, please click the like button. If it's something you want to get involved in, come and talk to me about, drop it in the comments and I'll reply to you. Come and drop in the live streams as well. I play Football Manager on Twitch, on the live streams. The link's down below. And we're always talking about football. You know, I always get people coming and saying opinions on so-and-so, opinions on this, opinions on that incident. It's good fun, and I love to talk about football. As you can tell, I'd really like a job talking about football. So I thought, why not upload videos, right? Why not? Why not do it? YouTube's for anybody and anything. So there's a space for everywhere. So I thought, do you know what? I'll get the fixtures up. The results. I'll get the league table this way. Get the league table up on the side so you guys can get a bit of a... Maybe you didn't catch the games of the weekend, right? Maybe you didn't catch them. Maybe you didn't see the scores. You probably have. You're not going to find my video and see that, are you? But yeah, if you like the video, please like it. It really helps push the videos up so more people can watch it. You might think it's nothing, but if you just hit it, it's brilliant, and I really do appreciate you. And also the subscribe button, because the more subscribers, the more likes on the video, the more eyes get to see the video. The better I do, the more happier I am. Thank you very much for watching, and we'll be back next week for the same sort of video. Goodbye, guys.